Another Jinn story. This one was sent in by one of you guys, so thank you so much. When I was a little girl, my grandparents lived right down the street from us, so we were able to walk over whenever we wanted. We'd play board games, eat cookies, go on walks, the whole shebang. All of that changed when I was about 9 years old. My parents had gotten a job in Portland, Oregon, and we had to move states. I was absolutely devastated, but my grandparents reassured us that this would be no issue. We could call every night, and we did. We called all the time, for years. And one day, we got an absolutely devastating phone call. Grandpa was sick, and he was in hospice care. A few weeks later, we got the devastating phone call that Grandpa died. Mom was inconsolable. Grandma asked to speak to me, and when I almost started crying, she told me, "No, don't be sad, honey. He's still here. I can feel him." And then she asked if I wanted to speak to him. My mom, still standing nearby, overheard that and took the phone from me. I remember she was really mad about that, asking Grandma why she would say something like that. We went to his funeral the next week, and my parents talked to my grandma about selling the house and having her move up to Portland with us. I guess she ended up agreeing because we ended up back in New Orleans, but this time to pack her things and put the house up for sale. This trip was very heartbreaking. I mean, this was the last time I was going to be in one of my childhood houses. I mean, I basically grew up in this place. When we pushed the door open, lamps and mirrors were covered by dusty old blankets, boxes littered the entryway, and my grandmother actually called from her bedroom, the last room that she was packing. It didn't smell like fresh-baked cookies anymore. There's no popcorn sitting in the designated popcorn bowl. Instead, it smelled stale and muggy. Honestly, it kind of smelled like something had gone bad in the house. As we were packing, my grandma said, "We're so excited to be moving. We're gonna be close to you guys again." "We? What do you mean we?" "Me and your grandpa," she said. I didn't know what to say, so I just smiled back at her and continued packing without saying anything. We ended up spending the night inside of my grandma's house, and my parents took one of the bedrooms, and I ended up sleeping on the living room couch. As I started to drift to sleep, I heard a loud thud at the end of the hallway. I laid still for a few more seconds before trying to close my eyes again and doze off, but then I heard it again. And then another, and then another, down the hall to where my grandmother's room was. I heard the door creak open and quickly shut with a harsh click. Suddenly I heard my grandma's voice, speaking. Who was she talking to? I didn't see my parents leave their bedroom. Being a preteen at the time, I guess I felt kind of adventurous. I ended up walking down the hallway to her bedroom door. Despite everything in my body telling me not to, I ended up knocking on her door and saying, "Grandma? Come in, sweetheart," she called out from her room. I slowly opened the door and peered inside. She sat at the edge of her bed, smiling at me, then turning to her closet and smiling. "Who are you talking to, Grandma?" "I'm talking to your grandpa, silly." She patted on the bed next to her, beckoning me to come sit with her. I just stood in the doorway. I couldn't move. I was terrified, and honestly a little frustrated. "Grandma, Grandpa's not here anymore. You know this." Her eyes followed something across the room. Oh, I have goosebumps right now. Before she said, "You know Grandpa doesn't like when you're angry." I got chills down my spine. My heart literally dropped out of my body, it felt like. I looked up to where she was looking and saw the shelf that she had in her room that had more of Grandpa's stuff. One of his digital cameras was up there. I walked to the shelf, grabbed a digital camera, and stood back in the doorway, kind of too scared to stay in that room any longer than I needed to. "I'm gonna take a picture, and I can promise you're not gonna see Grandpa here." I turned the digital camera on, put it up to my face, and snapped a picture. I pulled the camera back down, and when I pulled the camera down to look at the display screen, about to show her, I saw this. Okay, so what is this? How could she think this is Grandpa? I guess my grandma saw the face I made staring at the screen and asked me, "Do you finally see him?" When I looked up, she was smiling so much. She was laughing. I guess she saw the look of terror on my face still. "Oh, honey, he's not over there anymore. He's right behind you. He wants to see the picture." Stop. Hey, so you see all these lights on right now in my room? Yeah, I think they're staying on tonight.